Hello everyone. If you remember in one of my videos under the playlist GD&T, when I talked about the description of GD&T symbols, one of the symbols that we talked about was angularity, and basically it was measuring the angle using a gauge to check whether the one surface is at a specific angle to another one with a specific tolerance zone. And one of the things, if you remember, we had to do this gauge was we had to have a tilting table like this that you can set it at a specific angle, so you can put your part on that and tilt your part as much as that angle. Then that surface of interest will be horizontal, so you basically gauge it like you do it for flatness of a horizontal surface. Okay, so here you might say, well, how do I get this table? Do I have a table like that and at every inspection table in the machine shop? The answer is not necessarily. Plus, putting a surface at a specific angle when that angle is not a clear angle like 30 degrees, or it might have fractions of a degree, right? 30.9, 30.86 or something like that. That is not necessarily easy, and you might not have something that accurate like any protractor or anything like that. So how do I make angles like 30 degrees, 28.69 degrees, anything like that? How do I make that in the machine shop? And the answer is basically using the kind of tools that you are going to see in this video. So our head machinist Jared, in the rest of this video, he's going to show you how he can make any angle that you prefer, and he can go down to hundreds of a degree or even less by basically using some specific blocks with a specific height. Okay, so please pay attention to the rest of this video when Jared is talking about how to put a surface at a specific angle. Thank you.
So, I'm Jared Venata. I'm going to go over some of the fundamentals of metrology here with the surface plate, gauge blocks, and we're going to use a sine bar as an example of the two coming together. So, to measure angles, if you want to get within about 1/100th of a degree, you can use gauge blocks, and this is called the sine bar because it's 5 inches long between, or 5 inches from cylinder to cylinder, so we can calculate our angles between it. If we wanted to have, we use 30 degrees since the sine is 0.5, we can multiply that by our 5 inches, come up with 2.5 inches to stack under it. And to do that, the gauge blocks, you can create different measurements based on stacking them, and to stack them you do what's called ringing. In order to ring them, we're going to grab a 2-inch gauge block and a 1/2-inch gauge block, and I clean them, make sure they're not dirty, and then I go off to the side and rotate. If you have to, you come back. They'll bond. They're not magnetic. It's like more of a molecular bond in a vacuum. But now the blocks are rung. We can stack it and stack our sine bar on there, and we get a 30-degree angle based off of the plate and sine bar.